Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of ReaperCast. Today we're going to be talking about a few new cards here, as well as just a bit of confirmation on certain things. So I'm just going to start away because there's just quite a few things that I'm quite excited about and I really just can't hold this off anymore. So let's begin. Firstly, we have here the Ace cards that have actually been announced for Ancient Guardians. Very interesting, of course. Now, we've already gone over two of them, and we do know that Ancient Guardians is going to be a special set just like Genesis Impact, where there's only going to be 3 different archetypes being the main focus for it. So as a result, you want to decide what kind of deck you actually want to play, and depending on your interest with those decks, it will dictate whether or not it's worth you actually investing the set itself or just buying it up so that you could actually build some of the decks. So with that being said, 3 of the archetypes Ace monsters have been revealed, and I think this actually gives a really good indication as to what the deck is meant to do. Because an Ace monster is meant to be the representative for the deck itself, so to actually go over all of these Ace monsters will definitely be quite an interesting take on the actual deck itself. So for the first archetype here, we have the Ogdoadic Overlord, which is very interesting, of course. The card or the Ace monster here is Ogdo Abyss, the Ogdoadic Overlord, a level 10 light reptile effect monster, 3000 attack and 2200 defense. If this card is in your graveyard, you contribute 3 monsters, special summon this card. Once while this card is face up on the field as a quick effect, you can send all monsters from the field to the graveyard except face up monsters, special summon from the graveyard. You can only use each effect of Ogdo Abyss, the Ogdoadic Overlord, once per turn. A very interesting card indeed, being that its summoning condition seems a bit excessive, but to be honest, if the deck itself is focusing on just spamming out a bunch of summons, then it might actually be quite easy to summon out this card. In addition to that, you could actually just clear the board as well. I definitely think that's really amazing. It's send all monsters, not target, not doing anything that's destroying. I think this is absolutely amazing. And let me just say that the artwork is just truly stunning. Moving on, of course, we have here our Do Re Mi chord Quillia. Well, it's actually been changed, the name itself, so it's called Do Sol Fa chord Quillia, which is definitely really weird of what they actually call it now, but I guess we'll just have to play along with it. A level 8 Wind Fairy Pendulum Effect monster, 2700 attack, 2500 defense, Pendulum Scale 1, and its Pendulum effect reads, your opponent cannot activate a spell or trap card or monster effect when your Sulfur Chord Pendulum monsters is Pendulum summoned. Alright, so it looks like they've changed up the English name for it. I am not a fan whatsoever. I liked Do Re Mi chord because it actually made sense, but to call this Sofa chord is just really odd. Now as for the monster effect, you could special summon this card from your hand by attributing 2 pendulum monsters. You can only use each of the following effects of this card once per turn. You can target 1 face-up card your opponent controls or up to 2 cards if you have an odd pendulum scale in your pendulum zone. Negate its effects until the end of your opponent's turn. When an effect of a monster on the field is activated with an equal or lower attack with the highest pendulum scale in your pendulum zone times 300, you can destroy that monster. When an effect of a monster on the field is activated with an equal or lower attack than the highest pendulum scale in your pendulum zone times 300, you can destroy that monster. It's quite fitting for a boss monster, or rather an ace monster, because keep in mind an ace monster is kind of different to a boss monster itself, so just a bit of a small correction there. But as an ace monster, I do like what this card actually can do here. Like I said in previous videos, I do actually enjoy or like the Do Re Mi chords as an archetype, so it would actually be quite fun to build this particular deck, and it seems like something I could actually invest myself into. For Pendulum deck as well, I am quite impressed because I really do like the deck. My only issue is really the naming of it. It sounds really weird. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Definitely let me know. But moving on, of course, we have the Urz Arctic. So Urz Arctic was again the name change from BXT. So it was called BXT from OCG, but in TCG it just translated into Urz Arctic, which sounds a bit weird, but you know, we're just gonna have to go with it. So this ace monster here is called Arctic Serpentarion, a level 7 water beast warrior synchro effect monster, 3000 attack, 700 defense. Cannot be synchro summoned, must be special summoned from your extra deck by sending 2 monsters you control with a level difference of 7 to the graveyard, 1 level 8 or higher tuner, and 1 non-tuner synchro monster. Negate the effects of face-up monsters without a level that were special summoned from the extra deck. If your opponent special summons a monster except during the damage step, you could add 1 Arctic card from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Arctic Serpentarion once per turn. So as I said as well, this particular archetype is also quite interesting for its unique way of synchro summoning. I really do like this, as is the Do-Re-Mi chords, and seeing that they're both actually coming out in the same set is quite exciting indeed. Now unfortunately, none of these archetypes seem to be meta relevant whatsoever. I do think that the Do-Re-Mi chords have the potential to actually enter into the meta, but as for the other 2 archetypes, I don't really see that happening. So if you want pure fun, then this deck is actually okay, but if you want to actually play competitively in a meta format, then you're definitely going to have to skip out on this. But of course, the card design and the aesthetics alone can also be a factor as to whether or not this is actually worth it. So please tell me what you guys actually think about this. Do you actually have any interest whatsoever? Because at this particular point in time, I'm a little iffy about it. I am kind of 50-50 into this particular set. Maybe if I was really interested in the Do-Re-Mi chords, I might just buy singles, but otherwise, if all 3 archetypes are interesting, I might consider building the decks. It will also depend on how the set actually works. If the ratios and if the rarities are actually similar to Genesis Impact, then I might actually consider skipping out on it. So let's hope that it actually does something different. Moving on here, we also have the Lightning Overdrive Premier event. This is just something really quick because it's going to be held in the 29th of May to the 30th. So it's basically a Lightning Overdrive event where you could actually just win one of the playmats. Looks absolutely stunning. But you can also get this promo card here called Amazing Time Ticket. So it's a quick play spell card, pay 800 life points, apply this effect depending on whose turn it is. If it's your turn, then you could add 1 amazement card from your deck to your hand. If it's your opponent's turn, set 1 attractions trap card directly from your deck. It can be activated this turn. You can only activate 1 amazing time ticket per turn. This makes things really interesting because it's setting us up for some new cards or some potential archetype that might be coming out in the future, but for now, I do kind of like where this is actually going because it kind of acts itself as a action spell from Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5, if you guys actually remember, so this would actually be quite exciting depending on how it actually works out later on with the future support, of course. And just really quickly, I wanted to mention that the Cyber Dragon or the Cyber style structure deck is actually getting some reprints here. So we have Gizmek Orochi, which is one of the cards that is definitely played quite a lot here, so seeing that as a reprint is absolutely amazing. But we are also getting a reprint of Machine Duplication, and we're also getting reprints for Lang Ling and Gale Dogra, which are really great cards, of course, because Gale Dogra would also help out with Fusion Summon Turbos. But overall, that was pretty much it for what we actually had to talk about today. A lot of really interesting news, and I'm just really excited, so definitely tell me what your thoughts are about all of these. With that being said, if you enjoyed this video, drop a like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll see you all next time.